In 2004, Patricia Gordon found out she had cancer.
They told me I had lymphoma. She set up an immediate an appointment to have the top palate of my mouth removed. And
Patricia refused to undergo surgery and started a long quest for a different solution, going from doctor to doctor.
They were going to administer.
But it was all in vain, and after 3 years she realized she was just going around in circles.
Over $2,000 for a PET scan. And it showed up a mass in my lung, my right lung, about the size of a medium potato.
In the lung?
In the right lung, yes. By this time, there was a tumor that started growing up around my right eye, and it basically was forcing my eyeball out to the right side of my head.
So how did you find out about Dr. Simoncini?
I heard this radio show. It was the Robert Scott Bell radio show. He talked about his alternative treatments and how the success rate was so great. And so when I went to the website, I immediately saw this is exactly what was happening to me, because I experienced the white tumors coming down from the roof of my mouth, and I got a hold of Dr. Simoncini.
Patricia flew to Rome to see Dr. Simoncini.
He immediately knew what it was. There was no hesitation on his part. He was very professional, very positive. He started doing injections not only around my eye, but under my chin.
Injections of what exactly?
The sodium, baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate.
Right.
Because a tumor, it's still here to a certain degree. But anyway, he injected those areas.
So you also did injections on the eyelid?
All around.
All around.
All around. And he would inject it, and then he would fill up the vial at least 3 times, flood the area. I mean, I looked like a little balloon, a lopsided balloon by the time he got done. But I could tell that it was something positive. And so I was getting immediate results, which I had to come back home after the month, continued injecting myself with solutions, and finally it started to go down. And it doesn't mean that I don't have cancer elsewhere, which I need treatment for. And hopefully I can, through this seminar, find somebody.
What would you say is needed at this point? What should happen according to your...
Well, it would be nice to have a clinic that would be able to honor this. Of course, all you're doing is a metabolic balancing. You're not calling it cancer treatment.
But in the meantime, what gave you the strength to continue on your own like that?
Because he was so positive and aggressive, and I knew I had to continue, I learned to do the injections myself. So I've actually done them in the roof of my mouth. I've done them all around my eye.
Wow. By yourself?
By myself. I had to learn because nobody would even touch me. Even my dentist wouldn't even return my calls when I asked for help. I couldn't get help anywhere. Everybody's afraid.
Right.
So I thought, if I don't take this in my own hands, I won't survive.
This is John Blankenship in Houston, Texas. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer in about August of 2007, and I proceeded to do all the classic evaluations that the medical industry puts you through. They did a biopsy and later on scheduled me for radical prostatectomy. And I looked on the internet and saw what they were going to do and the fact that I was going to be incontinent, and I rejected it out of hand. The whole time they were trying to sell this operation to me, and it just didn't feel right. They ran me through the mill, and I had to sign a papers that I would accept chemotherapy and also radiation treatment in the event that the radical prostatectomy did not cure my cancer problem. Sometime in early January, I was on the internet and I came across Dr. Tullio Simoncini's website, and I was amazed at the protocol that he suggested, and also I was amazed by his belief that cancer wasn't fungus. I read over and over and over, and it just made sense to me. And toward the end of January, I called him and made arrangements to go to Rome for treatment. And I arrived Rome on the 1st of February, and on Monday, on the 4th of February, we put a catheter in. Did 8 bicarbonate of soda treatments over there. Took about an hour for treatment, and the only effects that I had the last 2 days of the treatment, I got a little bit weak, but he gave me 8 treatments. So I flew back to the United States with the catheter in place, and 10 days later, my wife had been taught how to do the infusion and started on a treatment schedule of 6 days of infusions and then 6 days off for rest. And we did 4 or 5 of these cycles. I just took on Tuesday, the 26th of August 2008, a ultrasound examination of my prostate, and apparently the doctor, I consulted with him, and he said he couldn't find anything. He wrote a report to that effect, and I faxed the report to Dr. Simicini today, and he was delighted with the results. He said it's all gone.
So, according to this ultrasound scan, your cancer is gone.
Yes, sir.
Can you believe that?
I absolutely believe it. I believe everything that Dr. Simicini says. He's a genius. He's a Renaissance man.
So, even before you found out about Simicini, it seems to me like the real turning point was when you rejected the Orthodox process. Is that correct?
I rejected it out of hand because I knew that as soon as they started cutting on it, those little cells were going to run all over my body, and 6 months later they were going to be popping up and gross all over my body, and I knew that. Because the fungus starts to run and hide, and it finds the best place to hide and receive nutrition. And his treatment sort of kills all of that because there's an overabundance of sodium bicarbonate in the treatment, and it's totally, while you're being treated, your blood is becoming saturated with it. So it kills the fungus en route to wherever it's going. So it not only kills the fungus at the tumor, all the fungus that gets away is killed in the out of the...
Are you a doctor, John?
No.
No.
I can read and I can understand, and no one else has made sense to me except Dr. Simicini.
Thank you. John. Thank you. Hey.